Sky, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover instead of actually playing the game while I whisper. And I just wanted to try something a little bit different for you guys and tell you a little bit about this game, because I find it's, you know, one of those games that was on my radar for a long time and that I really wanted to play. I didn't really want to play it, actually. I thought it was, when it first announced, it had a lot of controversy around it. And, I don't know, the developers promised all this stuff about the game, and then when it came out, all the stuff that they had promised, a lot of it was just broken or just completely not even in the game. So they got a really bad reputation right out of the gates, but they, over the years, actually kept at it, and the game has become something that I think a lot of people actually have come to respect, and I've actually very much enjoyed playing it. You can see here I'm flying a ship that they gave out around Christmas time, just past Christmas, and it was kind of a nice gift. It's a great ship in-game, and you can see here I'm in a bit of a dogfight with a what's called a sentinel. It's kind of like the NPC sort of enemies that you encounter throughout the game. They are also the police, like the enforcers of the universe. So let me tell you a little bit about this game. You know, its graphics, as you can see, are quite good. You know, it's a little bit cartoony, but all of the planets in the game render in real time, and so when you're flying into a planet, you can see it start to, you know, load the textures. As you get closer and closer, it starts to load the planet in more detail, and that makes for a pretty cool experience all around. You know, kind of seamless transition as you're flying from planet to planet. Now, having graphics that are, you know, sort of in between realistic and cartoony allows for, you know, I think a better performing game. You know, it's not as heavy on your computer and on your graphics card as a game, let's say like Star Citizen, for example, that just really kills your experience and your sense of immersion because of the fact that the game runs like shit. So, this game actually runs quite well on modern hardware. With, you know, some things here and there, like especially when you get a lot of weather effects going on and a lot of other things. Oh, did you see that? I just called in, can't remember. Oh, it's called the Anomaly, this space ship. And so when you fly into the Anomaly, you actually, it loads you into, it's kind of like a city for all the players to meet each other, like actual players. Because otherwise, when you're outside of the city, like in the universe, you're not really running into people. I don't really think it allows for that unless you're playing with people, like a group. Typically, you're not going to run into people around the universe because it's not really a true multiplayer game in that sense, as far as I know. And or maybe the universe is just so big that people just don't really run into each other. Either way, the Anomaly here is the space station that you can go to see other players and interact with other people. Now, I have no idea why I came here, and now I'm leaving right away, but I guess I'm not going to show you guys a tour of the Anomaly right now. I don't really remember what I was doing in this play, but yeah, we're just following along and kind of enjoying it. So now you can see, as I look around the solar system that I'm in currently, in this solar system, there's a bunch of planets, and you can see sort of the planets are all quite close together, and that was a design decision that the game developers did, is to keep all the planets kind of close together, so the scale of the solar systems is a lot smaller than, you know, in real life. And the reason they did that was for, you know, from an art, it was actually the art director, I believe, who convinced the main, you know, his name right now off the top of my head, but you convinced him to take that design decision to make the game have, really picturesque moments where you're on the planet and you look up at the sky and you see other planets on the horizon, right? And it makes for really nice scenes. You can see here I'm interacting with some players on the anomaly right now I came back to, and we're just doing a little bit of a dance together. You'll have to see it. You'll have to see it. Okay, I guess they don't want to dance with me anymore. That's that makes me kind of sad actually watching that. Now that we're rewatching this footage, I feel kind of bad about myself. Anyways, hope you guys are enjoying this ramble so far about this game. So let's continue. What else can I tell you about this game? Well, the audio, for example. I thought the audio was really well done. All the animals sort of make their own different noises. Actually, the animal noises are kind of a little bit strange, I found, in some ways. I mean, they're alien animals, so I guess that's to be expected. I'm just going to take a quick sip of coffee here. Okay, now in this game, the way to travel really quickly between your bases, is through those warp bubbles that you see me walking through, or I guess they're called teleporters that I'm walking through, right? They teleport you to different areas of the universe that you've already explored, and you've created teleporters in or on. So if you go to a planet, you build a base, you eventually build a teleporter there, and then you can teleport to all your other bases and put them back to that base, and they can be unlimited. They can be as far apart from each other in the universe as they can be. There's no limit. So what you end up doing is just having a bunch of bases all over the place that you end up warping to regularly for trade purposes, or just to acquire different resources on different types of planets, right? Like certain planets will have copper and gold, and other planets won't have those. They'll have uranium and stuff like that. So part of the game is trying to find all these resources, gathering them, and then upgrading your weapons, upgrading your ship. There's a lot of progression in the game, and that's kind of like, probably, certain people love that type of thing. You could just play forever and just keep improving your character over and over, fine-tuning them over time. There's not really any limit to how much you can really improve I guess there is a limit, but you could spend hours and hours and hours. There's a really high upper ceiling for how much you can spend on this, how much time you can spend in this game improving stuff. Like right now, I'm on my freighter ship, which is it's kind of floating in space, and I'm building a bunch of rooms on it, right? So there's this whole building aspect to the game. So you can build your own bases, you can customize your freighter, right? So you can only have one freighter at a time, and then you can improve your freighter by building different types of rooms and incorporating fleet members, right? Right now I'm looking at my fleets, and I can send them on expeditions. So I have a S tier, A tier, B tier, and a C tier, different fleet members, for lack of a better term. Frigate list or frigate list, whatever you want to say. I don't know how to. I always say frigate, and I think that's the right way to say it. It just sounds like I'm saying frigate, like frigate, like when I stub my toe or something. Anyways, so now I've just docked down into the hangar here, and these are all my ships. I don't know why one of my ships on fire. It's kind of funny, but I got a ship and then I didn't repair it. This is my really cool ship. It's a Sentinel ship. I really like that ship that I just looked at. It's called the Z class or the Z class if you're Canadian like me. I don't know what I'm getting in right now. is Serene Sleep TS8. I'm pretty sure it's just something I'm gonna end up salvaging. But it's just showing you. Oh, okay, it actually flies. That's crazy. I'm probably gonna go salvage it right away. That's what I'm doing. I'm betting. So, yeah, you find different types of ships as you play. Obviously, it's hard to find the really good A tier, S tier ships, but once you find them, it's nice to be able to fly them. They really, you really feel the difference when you're flying a good ship versus kind of a piece of crap like this. There's a few different types of ships. I'm not going to really get into that. I don't know, like, what I should say about all those, but, you know, you get, like, sentinel ships, you get different types of ships, like this one is a certain design, right? But then in those types of designs or those themes, they have other variations of those ships, right? So you get ships that look kind of similar but are sort of different at the same time. You can actually also build your own ships from scratch. Now, I got like over 100 hours in this game. I never got to building my own ship, believe it or not. Just was able to get other ships, and I thought building your ship it seemed to be quite expensive, so I never did it. Now, right now we're in what's like basically a station, like a normal space station, and all the space stations in the game basically look like this, with very little exception, except for the special types of stations. But this is a normal station where you go pick up missions, upgrade some stuff, tend to your ship, and there's 3 different races in the game. There's the Vikings, there's the, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the names of the other 2 off the top of my head. Anyway, one of them looks like frogmen, and the other ones look like robots. And then there's the Viking. So those are the 3 main races in the game that you can interact with. And so all the different space stations you go to, they're owned by one of those 3. And then they'll have a different sort of color theme when you go and land on them. So it does keep it kind of different, but that's one of my probably one of my complaints is just the fact that every station does look the same. But where they make up for that lack of variation in the stations, they more than make up for it in the design and the variation in the planets here. So I think right now you can see I'm flying toward Pragio 3. It tells me I discovered this planet, and it tells me what sort of resources it has on here. It's a Hyperborean planet, so it's a cold planet, I believe. And then I'm going to land at I don't know what I'm actually flying to. I think that's my settlement, but I could be wrong. But you can see how smooth it is to land on a planet. There's basically no loading screen, right? The planets do look quite great. And I've seen some very scary planets too. Like this one is like a pretty chill planet. No pun intended. Okay, and right here I'm pulling up on an encampment that's hidden. What are these guys called? I'm doing some quest line for these guys. I can't remember what these guys are called, but construct, use a construct. Objective, salvage starship components. So there, I gotta build a superconductor and get some magnetized ferrite. So the game has a pretty cool questing system, like basically excuse me. When you accept a quest or you have something you want to get done, like build something or build a part or upgrade a part, set that as your main goal, and the game will sort of guide you on what the steps you have to take to get that goal accomplished, and it'll break it down into smaller steps for you in order. And so you do those smaller steps in order, and it is a really cool way to sort of teach you the game without, I guess, over complicating things and overbearing, giving you too much to worry about in your head, kind of gives you a checklist, like a shopping list, and you go through the shopping list and build the stuff that you need to build. And yeah, there's various tech trees in the game. Yeah, so I talked about the graphics. Obviously, the graphics are quite great. The customization of your character is quite great, of your ship. Customization's okay, I guess, on the ships. I didn't really find too many customization options on the ship other than the actual technology that you have built on your ship. And by the way, at the top there you see I have the exosuit, the starship, the multi-tool. These are the different things that I have that I can upgrade. So here I'm looking at my exosuit. You see my technology modules at the top that are installed. And then at the bottom I've got my cargo. That's the stuff, my inventory that I'm carrying around in the exosuit. And so you're always trying to upgrade those, the technology at the top. And you can see certain of those technology modules are highlighted with a little square around them. That means that they're synergizing with the other modules next to them. So you can see I got some yellow ones in the middle of the screen there at the top, and then some blue ones and some white ones. And so depending on the type of module it is, as you're installing them, you want to put them together with other types of modules of this, that are of similar type to, they all have adjacency bonuses, basically, which is kind of cool. I thought it was an interesting and unique approach to, that kind of thing, where you're customizing your build. Now, I don't really know. I guess I'm building a superconductor right now, or I'm trying to figure out how to build a superconductor. So it's telling me I need required parts semiconductor and enriched carbon. So now I gotta find a semiconductor and enriched carbon, which I don't think I've ever done before. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Again, it's not always, obvious, or not all the information is always given to you for the game. Like, I gotta know, sometimes I had to look up, like, how to make enriched carbon, and, look it up on the internet and figure it out that way. But I would say most of the time, I was able to figure stuff out on my own and just go with the flow. Now, other than, I might actually cut this part out of the video because I'm not doing anything right now, so we'll skip ahead and then I'll continue. Okay, now I'm taking off in the game, and there's currently a storm happening on the planet, so that's one of the things that I didn't mention is the different weather types on the planets. This is a stormy planet, so we've got a snowstorm with some electricity. Now when the electricity comes out, these storm crystals start to spawn, and the storm crystals are kind of a rare resource that you need to do, to build certain types of items. So you see I pull up my HUD there, my headset, and I find the next storm crystal. I start flying towards it to go grab it, because the storm's not going to last forever. And you can see at the bottom left, oh, I just did a journey milestone. Survived 5 souls on Extreme Worlds. There you go, I'm determined. Yeah, the game gives you sort of different types of progression bonuses like that, milestone bonuses. Kind of cool, keeps you, feels like you're getting achievements as you play and do different things. And that's one of the really nice things about this game is it really does reward curiosity and exploration. Like, you could just kind of find something interesting and go towards it and terms of temperatures. Like, so they can be really low temperature, really high temperature, and you have to have different suit modules on your, like technology modules on your suit that allow you to deal with the different types of environments that you come across. So when you first start the game, there's you don't have all those, and so it's really hard to explore the more hostile planets. Now, right now, what I'm doing in the game is laser beaming a bunch of asteroids to farm. I believe tritium is what I'm looking for here, and tritium hyperclusters, which are basically used for fuel in the game. But also, while you're at this, you get stuff like silver and gold, which is basically resources to build other stuff in the game. Or you can sell it too for money. And you can see I summoned the space anomaly again. It's kind of cool that they have that ability to just summon the space anomaly anywhere. The idea, the lore in the game is that the anomaly is everywhere all the time, so no matter where you need it, you just call it and it comes. And so it's in every place in the universe at all times, It's the kind of idea, I guess. What is that? Like some sort of like quantum theory stuff. Reminds me a little bit of Outer Wilds. This game, anyway, in some sense. Similar vibes to Outer Wild. Now, yeah, the way I found it was very different in comparison to other spaceflight games like Star Citizen I mentioned earlier, and the Elite Dangerous, which is one that I played a lot of. And I would say the flight controls on Elite Dangerous, like how you control your ship, is much more intricate. It's a lot more fun, I find, but it's also more challenging. Like, you have to land your own ship, and there's no auto landing. I don't think in Elite Dangerous, maybe they've added that recently, but where Elite Dangerous really struggled was on the actual stuff and to do on planets and landing on planets. That whole adding variation to planets and life to planets, like, that's something that No Man's Sky does extremely well. So I forgive the lack of like more in-depth